Okay, I'm gonna try and make another video. This doesn't seem to be getting any easier for me. In fact, it seems to be getting harder lately. I'm not really sure why. I'm just not feeling as comfortable. And I was getting pretty good at it. I was getting pretty used to it, but I guess it's just because I've not tried enough, not done it enough. So that's why I'm making one now. It's like, that's the main reason. That's the main reason that I do videos, is because I'm afraid of doing videos, because I'm afraid of being seen, being judged, I guess. I was going to do this video on driving, or fear of driving, I guess, driving a car, if Max will let me here. I've gotten over a lot of things. I've come a long way in the last 2 years since I've been making videos and working towards trying to beat these various phobias I have. But the one thing that I haven't made any progress at all on, or even really attempted, is driving a car again. And I was able to drive. I don't know how much I've talked about this on previous videos because I don't really watch them over again, so I don't really remember what's on all of them, but man, come on. But I was able to drive at one time, although I was never really comfortable with driving cars. I mean, I never really, it always seemed to be where I would have to think about what I was doing. It wasn't just kind of a natural thing like it seems to be with most people, where you just do it without thinking. I had to really think about everything I was doing. It's not so much driving the car, it's traffic. It's other people on the road and worrying about that. Or worrying about something going wrong with the car. Imagining getting in accidents. That's the main thing I was always worried about. But I didn't learn to drive till I was 18. And like I said, never really felt comfortable with it to begin with. And I guess about the time, I guess I was about 23, 24. That's when I first had like a serious panic attack, while at the wheel, while I was driving, and I was in heavy traffic and on the freeway. I'm not sure if I talked about this before or not, but I blacked out and almost wrecked the car. I kind of came out of it just enough where I could get pulled over to the side of the road. It's kind of it's hard to explain, but kind of the effect that I have when I have these attacks is it's kind of like the feeling, it's kind of like the experience of, like, if you're the type of person that passes out at the sight of blood or something, that you get that feeling where you start feeling lightheaded and like you're going to pass out. And I will do that, and then that feeling triggers the panic because I'm afraid I'm going to pass out. And I do sometimes. And I've been able to get over the fear of that, of doing that like in a public place or doing that at home, you know. But the fear of doing it at the wheel, where I could endanger my life or other people's life, is another thing. When I'll think about getting in a car and just if I was just to drive down my own little country road out here where there's not a lot of traffic or anything, that doesn't really bother me. The thought of doing that doesn't really make me nervous or anything. But if I think about getting out on the highway or getting out where there's traffic and then I get panicky and I get nervous just thinking about that. It just seems like something that I just can't even do. And if I could do it, I'd feel so much more free. Because I hate having to depend on other people or having to ride the bus or something. Although I guess I'm lucky we do have buses here on the island that are free and you can pretty much get anywhere you need to with them. But sitting on a bus with a bunch of strangers is a whole other can of worms I got to deal with. But I mean, it's something that I want to believe that I can get over, and that I'll be able to do that again. But it just right now it just doesn't seem. It just seems so far away. It seems like I'd have to go. I'd have so far to go to be able to get there. But I mean, it didn't happen overnight. It was a thing that gradually happened where I stopped driving on freeways at first and just kind of avoided the big freeways and heavy traffic, and then eventually got to where I didn't feel comfortable doing anything but just driving a few blocks from my house, and then eventually I just stopped altogether. And I haven't really driven since like 92, or I think 91, 92. So yeah, about 20 years now. Yeah, you could start your own video there someday, Max, but not right now. But if anyone else has this problem and has any advice they could give me, and particularly anyone that got over this problem, that would be helpful. I could use some tips. I don't know. Not a great video, but I'll put it up anyway.